The squared circle is a place of high drama, where twists, turns, and roadblocks are all part of the game. But when you're the son of a legend, the stakes are even higher. Similar is the story of Cody Rhodes, whose father was the American Dream Dusty Rhodes, a legend of professional wrestling in the 1980s. Now, conventional wisdom says that being a second-generation wrestler should give you an edge. After all, you grew up with wrestling all around you. You had access to some of the industry's biggest legends, multiple people to get advice from. But as Cody soon found out, being the son of a legend comes with its own set of challenges. Still, with expectations sky high and his father's legendary shadow looming over him, Cody set out to make a name for himself in the wrestling world. But before he became the wrestling superstar we know today, he had to lay a solid foundation for his career. In high school, Rhodes was a championship amateur wrestler who won the Georgia State Championship at 189 pounds with an unbeatable record of 42-0. But Cody Rhodes wasn't always so sure of himself. He actually had a grand plan to become a famous Hollywood actor before making his way into the wrestling ring. In an interview with Bleacher Report, Rhodes spilled the beans on his original strategy. "My idea was to be in entertainment anyway. I wanted to go to LA and become a famous actor. This was my legit plan. I figured if I were famous, they would have to take me." Despite his early doubts, Rhodes eventually found his way to the wrestling world and trained under some of the biggest names in the business, including Al Snow, Danny Davis, Randy Orton, and Ricky Morton. Going by his real name, Cody Runnels, he began wrestling at Ohio Valley Wrestling (OVW) in May 2006. Rhodes made his television debut on the July 2, 2007 episode of Raw. He appeared in a backstage segment with his dad, where Randy Orton interrupted and then disrespectfully slapped Dusty. This set up Cody's debut match against Orton, which is honestly quite the honor. Not every wrestler gets to fight Randy Orton in their first ever televised match. Cody put up a good struggle against the Viper, but would eventually succumb to the RKO. After this, Cody would have a few more outings against Orton, but always came out on the losing side. Cody then began a feud with Hardcore Holly in September, but he lost 3 consecutive matches, and it seemed like he was going to be just another jobber. However, after their feud finished, Cody started teaming up with Holly, and the two won the World Tag Team Championships together. Then in May 2008, Ted DiBiase Jr., another second-generation superstar, began feuding with Cody and Hardcore Holly. And at the Night of Champions pay-per-view event, Cody turned on Holly by revealing himself as DiBiase's secret partner, helping DiBiase win the match and becoming a 2-time World Tag Team Champion in the process. This turn also marked the beginning of Cody's heel persona. The two had a pretty solid run as a tag team before dropping the titles to John Cena and Batista a month later. In September, they were joined by Manu, the son of Afa, forming a stable of multi-generational wrestlers. Randy Orton would soon join them as the group's de facto leader. As part of Legacy, Rhodes entered the Royal Rumble match in 2009 to help Orton win, lasting until the final 3 before being eliminated by Triple H. He and DiBiase also became involved in Orton's scripted rivalry with the McMahon family, attacking Shane and Stephanie McMahon as well as Triple H. Rhodes was elevated to main event status as a result of joining the Legacy, competing in handicap and 6-man tag team matches against Orton's opponents and rivals. In April 2009, Rhodes, DiBiase, and Orton defeated Triple H, Batista, and Shane McMahon in a 6-man tag team match, which resulted in Orton winning the WWE Championship. Throughout mid-2009, Rhodes and DiBiase continued to compete against and attack Orton's rivals, including the newly reformed DX, and were pretty much a top heel stable. But tensions within Legacy became apparent at the 2010 Royal Rumble when Rhodes attempted to interfere in Orton's match for the WWE Championship. He was caught by the referee, resulting in a disqualification for Orton, who attacked Rhodes and DiBiase after the match. This led to a triple threat match at Wrestlemania 26, in which Orton defeated Rhodes and DiBiase. After Legacy broke up, Rhodes started leaning into his good looks and adopted the dashing Cody Rhodes gimmick, which many to this day believe was one of the best versions of Cody. He even won his first singles title, the Intercontinental Championship, during this run, and also started teaming with Drew McIntyre around this time. Together, the two would go on to capture the WWE Tag Team titles in a Tag Team Turmoil match. But their reign was short-lived, as they lost the titles to John Cena and David Otunga from the Nexus. Yeah, the 2010s were a weird time. Anyways, after this, Cody and Drew then decided to go their separate ways. Once the dashing Cody Rhodes gimmick ran its course in WWE, Rhodes struggled to establish himself as a singles act. However, he finally found purpose in 2013, when he began a storyline with his brother against Triple H, which ultimately led to his kayfabe firing. This provided him with time off for his wedding and honeymoon, but more importantly, it made him very popular with the fans. Later, Rhodes and his brother, Goldust, formed a tag team called the Brotherhood, with their father Dusty Rhodes as their manager. They achieved great success, including a major tag team championship win over The Shield. Once the Brotherhood's momentum slowed down, Rhodes boosted his character to cosmic levels and found Stardust. Stardust was basically an off-brand Goldust, with face paint and outrageous costumes. And safe to say, this decision was very unpopular with the fans. Goldust and Stardust would go on to win the Tag Team Championships another time before breaking up and starting a storyline. This led to a highly underwhelming match at Fastlane, which Goldust won. There were plans for a final blow-off between the brothers at WrestleMania, but they never ended up materializing. Seeing that the Stardust character was going nowhere, Cody grew frustrated with the WWE. In an interview with Chris Jericho on his podcast, Rhodes stated that he felt like he wasn't being used to his full potential and that he had more to offer than just the Stardust character. He also mentioned that he had been pleading with WWE Creative to end the Stardust gimmick for over 6 months before he requested his release. After leaving the WWE, Cody Rhodes began wrestling on the independent circuit and signed with Ring of Honor in 2016. In ROH, he joined forces with fellow wrestlers Adam Page and the Young Bucks. He quickly became a fan favorite and challenged Christopher Daniels for the ROH World Championship at the Best in the World pay-per-view in 2017, which he won, making it the first world title of his career. While ROH World Champion, he also wrestled in the main event of the first ever independent New Japan Pro Wrestling event in the USA, facing off against a New Japan legend, the Rainmaker Kazuchika Okada, for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. Then, in 2017, he responded to a comment made by wrestling journalist Dave Meltzer about the possibility of an independent wrestling event selling 10,000 tickets. Meltzer had flippantly disregarded the possibility as a pipe dream, but Rhodes disagreed and challenged him, saying, "I'll take that bet, Dave." This single exchange would change the wrestling world forever. It led to Rhodes, along with the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega, coming together to finance and execute All In, the biggest independent wrestling event since the death of WCW. The event was a huge success, drawing 11,263 fans and garnering an estimated 50,000 buys on pay-per-view. The success of All In led to the birth of AEW, with Rhodes as one of its executive vice presidents. He helped manage the company through its television launch, a global pandemic, and an expansion, while still being an on-screen personality. He won the AEW TNT Championship 3 times and had a phenomenal feud with Brody Lee. However, mismanaged storylines and personal issues led to his departure from AEW in February, which was honestly a major disappointment. As a fan, it never felt like Cody ever reached his full potential in AEW. Many people felt like he took a back seat from the main event since he was a company executive, and it really slowed down his momentum. Anyways, after leaving AEW, Cody became one of the hottest free agents in the professional wrestling world. While rumors circulated about his potential destination, many believed he would return to WWE. Rhodes made his long-awaited return at WrestleMania 38 as the mystery opponent for Seth Rollins, and the crowd went wild. Rhodes defeated Rollins in a memorable match and then beat him again in a rematch at WrestleMania Backlash. However, right before their Hell in a Cell match, Rhodes suffered a legitimate pectoral muscle tear that was exacerbated during weight training in the days leading up to the event. Despite the injury, Rhodes defeated Rollins for the third time, earning the match a 5-star rating from Dave Meltzer, the first WWE main roster match to receive such a rating since 2011. After documenting his recovery in various vignettes over the next couple of months, Rhodes announced his return to competition in the Men's Royal Rumble match at the Royal Rumble on January 28th on an episode of Raw. He entered the match at number 30 and went on to eliminate Gunther to win the match. Cody then challenged Roman Reigns for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship at Wrestlemania 39. And although the match received high praise from fans and critics alike, it was heavily criticized for its finish, as many believed it ruined what could have been a defining moment for Rhodes. Whether that's true is still yet to be seen, but if Cody's career tells us anything, he'll only come out of it stronger.